And we're live.
Hi, welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 462.
Very
Woo!
nice.
Yeah, last week we said something about the Hug being the Huga being strong, and then it just got colder. Yeah. Did you have a good Thanksgiving week?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Justin was back and we did some family things, but also, he just kind of got to be in his room with his things. And
Yeah.
uh, he also had a lot of finals to prepare for. So that was also part of our weekend. So, um, yeah, but just a short few more days and he'll be back.
Yeah, yeah. I'm entirely convinced that Canadians have it right? Where it's before Halloween. It just I was thinking about it like we're so last week we would have potentially gone home. This
Mhm.
week we were back. Next week we're Jeremy and I are going on a trip and my father-in-law is coming up here to watch the kids. And then yeah, the following week Ellie's back, right? So it's just like
Mhm.
bam, 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 right? And yeah, it doesn't leave a lot of leave a lot of time in between those major get-togethers. So I think we
I will
both
say
stayed.
that you're probably really happy she took the car back because it's a huge
Yes.
back and
Well,
forth.
I happy I'm paying for the parking spot. So
Oh, got it.
but yeah, I mean, I guess I'm paying for the not needing to do all the transportation. But yeah, that's good. That's good. She also had a friend that she's living with next year from the Twin Cities that came down and like rode back with her. So that's good too.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good.
So
But
also saving that family some.
I was just happy that I mean, it's a long drive by yourself, right? Like
Yeah,
I appreciate it always goes faster when you have somebody in the car, even if it's just listening to the same music together, right? I don't know.
yeah.
That's the extrovert in me, I guess. It feels faster. It feels like it goes faster. But yeah, and then like going like, okay, and then that week after we get back, like Christmas presents should be here, arrived, whatever. So like the like go, 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 feeling it
I
more and
need to get
more.
lists from people because I have fresh out of ideas. Like I even gave myself like concerted like I'm gonna get a fresh piece of notebook paper, and my favorite pens, and I'm gonna start writing down ideas for the people I need to buy for. Oh my gosh, I came up with big fat zilch.
Yeah, yeah. Are you making any gifts?
Yeah, I'm making one right now.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I got I think I was talking on VKN several times, and I think I talked with you about like I really don't have anything, and I came up with something, and it was a quick trip to Joann's to get some materials, and they're in partial state. I'm doing more of a assembly, like make this, make this, make this,
Yeah.
and assemble piece. Anyway, you'll see that in whips. But yeah, Godspeed to all those that are out there making gifts. I like to think of it as like a gift that I'm giving myself that I get to work on this thing. Um, but if it ever starts feeling like, it's not exciting,
Mhm.
happy, whatever, like I would assert that people would much rather you not make them the thing than be stressed out.
Right.
Had one of my coworkers chatting about that with their mom. They said they finally had to be like, "Mom, we would much rather have like a very low key Thanksgiving dinner than have you be so stressed out." And I was like,
Right.
"Well, that's that's progressive."
Right.
So yeah, I'm leaning into that, trying to be nice things that come to mind, but maybe not as high stress as I've been in the past, which is hard for me. If you know me, I'm an anxious
Mhm.
person. So it was like understatement. Um, All right. Do we want to get into whips then? Or did
Sure.
you have any announcements you wanted to make?
I just want to remind people that if you are a designer, that form is still available to people to fill out, um, to come and share your, what do I want to say? This is for attendees of Zombie Apocalypse, and I sent a link out to those that design. Uh, can share their gifts with our retreat attendees. It's a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
so if you've
I'll
got,
follow that up with if you didn't get that email, you may
oh
be
yeah,
missing the last piece of the registration step, which is really important. It gets us your specific information as well as your emergency contact information. We have, it's kind of like when you take your raincoat to Southern California to make sure that it doesn't rain. When you're there, having those, we haven't yet needed to use them,
mhm.
but very, very glad to have them in case of emergency. So last step
Yep.
of registration is filling out that form. If you got an email from me that you needed to fill out that form, may be why you're not receiving said email about designers. So
Yeah, and
need
if
you
you're
to,
not getting any communication at all, reach out. It's either Amy at StockinetteZombies or Megan at StockinetteZombies because we did have some people that put in the wrong email address, right? So, um, and have reached out to us. So if you are getting radio silence from us, you should have at least gotten a reminder or, so
yep,
please reach out. It could be just a simple typo, or maybe you double put in your PayPal address and that's not really your real address. It belongs to somebody else. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah,
yeah.
just
Email is a very, as we have come to find out, we use it at work less and less. I feel like I'm using
mm,
email less and less at work. It's more of the like messaging, like Slack
mhm,
or Teams or whatever. And yeah, it's super unreliable, right? Like spam happens, finger checks, misspellings happen. Certain providers or certain email providers sometimes block things from whatever. Like we're doing our best, but yeah, super unreliable. So yeah, make sure
yes,
that if you're not hearing anything, you should have by now,
yes.
especially if you signed up not just yesterday or whatever,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and research is ongoing on a different way to communicate. So hopefully we can get there.
yeah.
Yeah, so whips. I have brought three active whips with me. So we're going to start with my two at a time rainbow socks that I are
Woo!
a gift. They're either a Christmas gift or a birthday gift, depending on if I get them done.
Love them.
But they're already aware that they're on the needles. So we got really fun. And I can't remember, I think this might have been a gift from somebody to me, but chosen by my child. So very exciting.
Yeah.
And the stripes?
Yes, yes. How did you meticulously, were there two balls? Or
No, no. This is that rock, paper, scissors. No, rock. Oh gosh, I can't remember. Rock is in the name of the dyer and then provided with two hanks that you ball up.
ah, okay.
So
You did
they
a
are,
very good job matching. Yeah.
yeah, very, very nice. They are like two rows off because I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, I'm knitting them two at a time. There's no way I'm two rows off. But and it's a single cable, right? There's no way for me to get off. And then I'm just noticing like, oh, this red is one less. And then this one up here was one less. And so one side has gotten to a new color faster. Um, but yes, as close as they possibly can be.
Wabi sabi, right? Like
Yes, wabi sabi.
the imperfections make them that much more valuable.
Yes,
Unique.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Very
then
cool.
I am knitting a hat.
Ooh.
The original plan, because it's Packer colors, so it's for a Packer fan. I am not, but you do what you must. I'm not much of a football fan, but I'm a
I
Minnesotan,
was
so
gonna say
I
I don't know
must
that I
hate
know
them
your team. I mean, is it just the Vikings
by
by
default.
yeah.
Yes, Vikings by default because I live here. Um, but I have the green and yellow pretty good. And I was planning to marl them into something, but then Tin Can Knits had the bramble, I think it is, had some slip stitch motif. So I thought, oh, I want to do mostly green, and then if I have enough yarn, I'll do a mostly yellow one and give the pair to them. But yeah, so it's just on the ribbing right now, and I'm it's a DK weight pattern, so I'm doing the yarn held double for extra swooshiness because again, I was intending to marl them.
Mm-hmm.
So already was intending to put them two strands. And
If
then
I'm
I
counting
have
correctly, that's two gifts. But I guess I did ask you if you were making any like Christmas gifts. But
mhm.
yeah,
And I said I'm knitting one right now. So
right
yeah,
now. Okay,
there was
there we go.
because I was actively knitting on the hat when we were
Got
talking.
it. Got it. Yep.
But those
Semantics.
so two pairs of socks and a hat is what I'm trying to accomplish, and then the bonus hat. So four things if I get them there.
Mhm.
It's already December 6th, so I don't know if it's gonna happen.
Yep.
Okay,
December
so
is
then
going by
I was trying
fast.
to get this all
Woo!
situated so you could see the whole thing here.
So
Um,
pretty.
but yep, I got the hem, I got the neckline. It is, I haven't tried it on fully. I did make sure it comes over my neck and it's not like super tight or over my
Yep.
head and isn't super tight around my neck. But I didn't try it on with the sleeves in, where it weighs down. The look, because I was so anxious, or not anxious, excited to get the sleeve on
Hmm.
immediately. So I went ahead and I put, oh, that's weird. You can see a very distinct line there.
Hmm.
Not in person, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. The camera always does that. Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, the smaller circumference is fun because you're getting through those repeats faster.
Mhm.
And I am, yeah, I'm excited to work on it. I don't know how much I'm gonna keep trying on the sleeves. I'm not sure I'm gonna want to decrease as quickly as they want me to. I think much rather have more of a bell sleeve
Hmm.
um, at the end, a very loose sleeve all the way down. But I'll try it on. I think right now it is at a fairly large circumference, so I'm not worried about it fitting. I just don't want it. I don't want it to go tapered really bad and get tight around my forearms. Not that that would happen, but I am planning on trying this on and possibly not following the pattern.
I often don't. When I was making Mabel's sweater, also by Hohi, people were asking me like, what are you going to do here? And I was like, well, whatever I decide to do. And they're like, well, are you not following the pattern? And I was like, after I get the right circumference around here, and after I, get the sleeves on and I know that they're big enough to go around my arm, I often kind of roll my own with decreases and, yeah, I know how to, it's like grokking a sock, right? Like I know how to grok a sleeve, and
Yeah.
I do that. So they're like, so this is Hoki plus Megan design. And I was like, whatever. I don't know what you
Yeah, I don't
largely
think if you're
inspired.
grokking the sleeve, it's changing it too much. Yeah.
No,
I again,
no.
I think it was every 12 rows. And I'm like, I just really don't know if I want to do it that fast.
No.
Because I ultimately am okay with just cuffing up at the end
Yeah.
and having a little bit more billowy
That's because
sleeve.
you divide it by two. That's actually like every six, right? Because it takes
Well,
two rows to.
she has one A and one B. So I think that we're one is
Ah,
two,
okay. So it
right?
is 12 then. Yeah,
Yeah,
that isn't
I think
too,
it's
that
12.
isn't too intense.
It's not too intense. It's just me counting the rows and measuring, I'm like, I'm not sure I want to go every 12. So,
Yeah.
again,
You do you, boo.
yeah. Well, plus you have to decrease four every time because so four is a lot to decrease every 12. That is
Then
more
you
like
are
six.
decreasing one every six. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Or two every six. Sorry, two every six
Yeah.
at
Two
that
every
rate.
six. Yeah. It,
Yep.
it, it is a lot. So yeah, I take it back. See, I knew it was right. I knew it was too
I'm
fast.
like, 12. That seems like, yeah. Anyway, patterns, math,
Hmm.
figuring it out.
But that's my
Very
active
beautiful though.
whips.
What remind me what the two yarns are again?
Northbound knitting, it's a single ply yarn. The pattern calls for single ply. I bought the at almost, I would say over a year ago, from Eat Sleep Knit. Because she's a Canadian dyer, it's kind of a nice way to get her yarn um, through a US distributor. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's very nice.
Excellent, excellent. For my whips, I can be very, very brief. I decided for my Badger slash for Christmas, I was going to make, you may remember this skein. It was the full skein in our Queen City yarn Advent kit a couple of years ago that came in the box. Somebody owes me, it was Home Alone. Somebody owes me 122.50. And I decided to make some monkeys because I thought I always love how monkeys kind of break up the lines, almost self-striping at this circumference, right? Like a really
Hmm.
fun like Christmas but yeah, I came to the like aha moment that Badger colors plus green equal Christmas. So making some badgery Christmas socks, doing these toe up. So monkeys are top down and through in a spacious OMG heel. But yeah, well on my way on the second. And then I want to get to all of the sock advents that I have ordered for this year. But I was like one pair of Christmas socks at a time.
Hmm.
That's my jam. So yeah, I have the Woolens and Nosh, and really love what I have seen of it thus far. And then I grabbed another Advent, and now I'm completely blanking who it was from. It's another self-striping. Oh gosh, why can't I ever think of it?
Is it Curly
But
Murphy
it's
or somebody else?
it was somebody else.
Mm.
You guys are like, this is not entertaining to watch you look through your it was one where she had like this is the last call sort of
Oh, okay.
item. Oh, freckled whimsy.
Okay.
And it came in a really nice, like almost like a tea like sealed up container at the top, like what you'd get loose leaf tea in, I guess, not a
Mm.
tin. It was all blacked out, right? So you couldn't see it. And then it came in two individual skeins, right? Like just like what you were just talking about. And so I wound that up and really it's merry and bright is the theme. So
Oh,
you can imagine that it is bright and also very merry. So yeah, I think I'll take that on my trip to California with me. But yes, the majority of my whips are I am making ornaments for some of my coworkers. So a little snowball-esque shape. Again, just kind of grokked this, went out and grabbed some. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. So yeah, there you see some of the sparkly. Um, from Joann's or grabbed some sparkly white and a red and a green and yeah, made little hats. Found a shape that I enjoyed after looking at some of the ornaments that are already out there. They need faces with the oh gosh, puff paint, puff paint
oh, okay.
faces. I'm not going to do like buttons or anything. They're just going to be puff paint faces. I don't know if I'm going to do a stencil or what I'm going to do, but
Hmm.
I've got a ton of, oh, these guys match. I've got a ton of, I flipped it.
Hmm.
Yeah, got just a metric ton of these. that need faces. And then I'm putting a tassel on the top as well. Yeah, I have this whole bag is
Wow.
filled with
You've
them.
been
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah, it's you know me when I get to repeating things. So yeah, I know you and I chatted about it. I am planning to allow folks to just have an orb if they're interested or put an orb on the hat. So that is why those didn't get like knitted specifically on. But I also like the ability to kind of make it a slouchy hat, right? Or to yeah, have it a little higher up or whatever.
Yeah, I think
And
you might
so,
need to because if the faces are on the bottom half of the snowman or the ball, the
mhm,
orb is going to look funny hatless.
it is, yes. So gonna grab a stencil, gonna try to create like guidelines for me. I have a lot of anxiety about putting faces on things, especially things
Yes, I
that
know.
that I have put a lot of effort into making. So right, and with the puff paint
It's
really
yeah.
up there, right? That you're not gonna have a great way to great way to like, oh no, I don't like that, you know. Um and redo it like you would if you were sewing it on. So maybe I'll end up pivoting on that. But yeah, the
I'm not
they're
a
fun
puff
little
paint expert. Um, but if I was using a normal paint, I
Mhm.
would find a circumference of like a dowel or an eraser end, at something of a set size and dip it in the paint and then dot so
Yep, yep.
that you have a consistent size of the eye. That's how I would do it. And then the mouths can be whimsy.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
don't have, they could be anything, they can be what we say wabi sabi.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to end up trying to so yeah, I'll end up they'll get strung through once I get
Hmm.
the huge, they're
Tassel.
going to be disproportionately large pom-poms because that'll make
Okay.
it fun. The strings will get strung through the hat, and then people can, yeah, decide to take it off or leave it on. And yeah, fun little fun little ornaments that can either be at their desk or by the time I get to them, probably not on their tree, but maybe put away with their Christmas ornaments. And yeah, it was just kind of fun. A little bit of figuring out like, okay, I cast on the same way that I did with the muscle burrow, with the keyhole cast on, how quickly I increase, how many rows that I put in between the increases and decreases. And then I kind of came to find out that I liked the way the decreases looked best versus the increases. And so made that the bottom, the part that will be visible, and then strung the strings back through to towards the cast on edge. And then again, kind of, I have two hats that don't have orbs, kind of playing around with proportion of brim to the rest of it. I think one of the first hats I didn't do like the plain row of stockinette in the matching color before I went to the contrast color, right? So you kind of get some of that lumpy bumpiness from transitioning. I'm like, if I were making a hat for me, I would do that, but I didn't think about it while I was making a hat for an ornament. And then yeah, figuring out those decreases. So yeah, it was a fun little project. And then it was like, go, 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 make
I,
make
I have
14
one
orbs,
more
make 14 hats. Yeah, yeah.
I have one more idea for you for your faces. You can buy felt and
Mm-hmm.
cut eyes and cut mouths. And then if you're gluing them on and then you realize it's not what you want, pop it
Yeah,
off, put a new one on. Yeah.
yeah.
Less permanent than the puffy paint or less chance of messing up the puffy paint. And you can
Yes.
even with the felt, you can kind of put them on ahead of time and go, does that look good? Okay, glue it down.
Yep. 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 Yeah. No, that's good. I like that. I might like that better than the puffy paint. Worth not having or having just the puffy paint around for for a future endeavor. But yeah, got to make some tassels first. I'm going to put the faces off to the very. And then I got to get them
Understandable.
mailed out and distributed. So yeah, a lot of fun. Super. I enjoyed it. Yeah, this is just yeah, the sparkly whatever Joanne's. I think it's like love this
Oh, yeah,
yarn. Yep. They were really. I had not been to the new Joanne's up by
yeah.
the Target North here. A huge wall of yarn, and it says like something about knitting on the wall. Really fun display.
Yeah, I recently got the I don't know, it's what it Lion brand. Thick and Quick, Woolies Thick and Quick. Really super chunky yarn in the off-white or fisherman is the colorway. To make that popcorn garland that I had put online. And yeah, I really like the new section there. The only thing that I did notice is that they were really slim pickings on their crochet hooks. I really wanted to pick up a little bit bigger crochet hook for this project, but I had to make do with what I already owned because they just didn't have much of a selection at all. It's
Hmm.
very
Yeah.
surprising. I don't know
Yeah.
if somebody came in and cleared them out for a project or what, but it was like, oh, they have one size. Or, like one size and the ones with the nicer grip or whatever. I don't know. It was definitely like, oh, I don't see what I need. Time to go.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say about these ornaments is that if I did make one with the puffy paint just as a prototype and it ended up going poorly, I could give it to Sullivan because
Oh,
he,
yes.
he has been like, oh, I'll sit with you, I'll rub up against you, and then he'll grab one of them and take off. So I have to keep them in this bag, like all like tucked
Yeah.
in, right? Because otherwise he's gonna hunt through and go take off with it. So they're Sullivan approved ornaments.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. Having a kitten and a Christmas tree is quite the adventure as well. Um,
You put
she
that
has
up for
caught
her to climb, right?
Yes, absolutely. The tree starts shaking and you're like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then that's either her going up or coming down because sometimes I don't even know she's in there and it starts shaking as she comes down. And then there is an aftermath. There's a bunch of ornaments on the ground
Yeah.
um
Sullivan
after one of
definitely
her
has his
sessions.
favorite, yeah, favorite ornaments that he will take down if we put them up. So we have to remember to put them higher up on the tree. He can't climb the tree
Yeah.
without knocking the whole damn thing over, which is very traumatic for him. So I think he's like learned through a version that he shouldn't do it. But yeah, all righty. Well, I am out next week. Enjoy your holidays, your holiday prep and holiday crafting.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, Yufta. All right. It says we've stopped, and I do have to